Hi everyone. Today we're going to talk about 7 rules to follow when dealing with other energy, whether they are people or spirits. So the first rule is practice observing and seeing what information you pick up. And that can be walking into, let's talk about people first. So say you're engaging with me. For example, pay attention to mannerisms, pay attention to how I speak, tone of voice, presentation, and also pay attention to the information that you get when you make eye contact with someone. Can they look at you in the eye? Is there something that they feel like they're hiding? Are they open? Does it feel good? So that's the first one. 2, it is not your job to fix or help everything you come across. So people, say you're dating someone or say you are just starting to meet someone and you feel like you just want to help them. There's always that common thing that I think that we've all experienced at some point or another where we can't fix other people. It's not our job to fix other people. We can be supportive and we can fill their cup as long as they're filling ours, but don't drain your resources. And in terms of spirits, I think some people can form unhealthy attachments to haunted places because they feel like that spirit hasn't crossed over and it is their job to help them do that, or it is their job to find out who the spirit is and why they chose not to cross over. You don't have to. 3, don't match, don't play with, don't provoke, and don't entertain negative energy. So in people, I think that is it's self-explanatory. When you see someone who's coming in with negative energy, you can spot them, you can feel them, and just don't entertain it. Don't provoke them. Don't match it. And in terms of spirits, it's very much the same thing. At the end of this, I will, show you a little video clip of, this show called Ghost Adventures. And these are people who, are prime examples of what not to do. And don't provoke it. Don't entertain it. If you feel something that you don't like, get out. That's it.
Zach Bagans sat down with me to talk with me why he has a murderabilia from all these serial killers and why he thinks people should go see it. The line wraps around the building to see what lurks inside Zach Bagans' haunted museum. Whether you believe in the undead or call it all hocus pocus.
This is a kind of a true crime exhibit. What these killers did is very dark.
What is real? No question are these real-life monsters. Zach Bagans shows me his room of controversial memorabilia, or murderabilia, from some of America's most notorious serial killers.
Where I actually held the brain of John Wayne Gacy, the killer clown.
Zach recently unsuccessfully tried to acquire part of John Wayne Gacy's brain. He does put on display the clown paintings done by the man who, in the 1970s, raped, tortured, and murdered dozens of boys and young men and masqueraded as a clown at parties. Loved ones of victims made sure other artwork was burned and destroyed after his 1994 execution. Other bizarre mementos, a painting of Charles Manson with his eyes painted with his ashes, the cult leader's bone fragments, dentures.
And I just purchased a lot more stuff from Ted Bundy's.
And the glasses of Ted Bundy that he may have worn during one of his 30 murders of young women between 1974 to 1978.
None of these items here are meant in any way to glorify these serial killers, but we can't erase history.
It's in a display.
Yeah.
People are coming to the museum to see it. Some would say this is glorifying it.
Well, that's their opinion. You're not going to make everybody happy in this life. And like I said, the curiosity is finding out why these men did what they did and to see if they truly were possessed by the devil.
Motivated of sorts by some evil forces?
Absolutely.
What would you say to people who say, this is their free will. They chose to kill people.
A lot of them have that similarity to them, hearing these voices, admitting to having an entity around them. That's where my research into them is. Just these things that I collect. It's the unusual, it's the scary, it's the evil.
4, it's a really simple one. The energy that you project out or entertain is what you'll get. So, in terms of people, you are the company you keep. And even if you don't like the company that you're keeping, but you entertain it and you don't do anything about it, not making a choice is still making a choice. And the same with spirits, if you are entertaining it or if you don't like the energy of a place, but yet you continue to go back to it or entertain it, it's going to stick to you. And that's what you get. 5, if it feels gross, it is gross. Meaning, if there's smoke, there's fire. Or if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's a fucking duck. So, and what does that mean? Like, it means that listen to your feelings. If it feels not right in people, trust that. Don't look to rationalize or justify, why it is that you're doing something, or you're like, I haven't been given proof, or, I might feel it, but does that mean that it really is there? Don't ask questions, just listen to that. And in terms of spirits, it's the same thing. If it feels gross, it's because it is. 6, positive connections you don't need to have a tight grip on. So in terms of people, I think sometimes people feel the need to hold on to relationships, whether they are friendship or otherwise. And when they're real positive connections, you don't need to smother it. You know that it's going to be there. You know that it's an easy flow, right? And that's actually one way you can know when maybe the connection isn't that great, is that when you feel like you're being smothered, when you feel like someone is too anxious to give you breathing room, or if you feel like, I need to know where they're at, I need to know that things are okay, what's happening, breathe. Again, positive connections, they're going to be there. And in terms of spirits, I think a lot of people struggle when a loved one transitions to the next life, or to the afterlife. And sometimes they feel like, are they still there? And when they're positive, they're always going to be there. And they will show up, they will find ways to communicate with you. And part of the reason why I really enjoy working with people in this capacity is that I want other people to know that it exists and they don't have to long for it, and that those connections and messages come through for them. They just have to be aware on how to receive it. So positive connections, they'll always be there. And 7, practice boundaries. It's okay to say no. In terms of people, there really isn't anything else to say. It's okay to say no. It's okay to say I'm done. It's okay to say I'm not interested in, cleaning up someone else's mess, or having to be the one to save the day, or having to constantly drain your resources, or not have peace in your life. It's okay to say no. And on the spirit side, if it doesn't feel good, say no. You don't have to entertain it. You don't have to dig. You can just say, no, I'm not interested. If it doesn't feel good, it's not worth, losing your peace over it. And that's it. Those are 7 rules to follow when dealing with energy, whether it's spirits or people. So I hope it was fun. To be continued. We'll talk again. Bye.